water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See that band all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like the Israelite. God's gonna trouble the water.
Malcolm's connection with the student movement, largely through SNCC, were further cemented when Dr. King was in jail in early February 1965. SNCC engaged in a major organizing offensive in rural Alabama, extending another invitation to Malcolm to come to Alabama and talk to the African masses. Malcolm responded by going down and speaking to an overflow crowd at Tuskegee University, and then to an equally enthusiastic crowd in Selma, Alabama. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference, recognizing the shift in consciousness among SNCC organizers and how that shift was influencing members of the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE, and other participants in the Civil Rights Movement, decided to endorse Malcolm speaking at the Selma event instead of opposing it, which directly ties back to Malcolm mentioning he had to go to the people first and the leaders will fall in line, because several leaders of the SCLC did not want Malcolm to address the students. During the opening days of February 1965, Malcolm gave an interview to the Amsterdam News reporter James Booker, which was published in February 6, 1965, and can be found in the book February 1965, The Final Speeches. During the interview, Malcolm mentions he was making his first visits to Alabama and Mississippi since he helped form Muslim groups there in December of 1960. He said he would speak on human rights in his southern visits and tell Negro groups that leaders of the 36 independent African nations are behind them. I will also tell them that the Muslim Mosque Incorporated will back up any move they plan to defend themselves against racists, and will send some of our brothers to train them to defend themselves when attacked. On February 3rd, Malcolm addressed 3,000 students at the Tuskegee Institute at Logan Hall. The meeting was sponsored by the Tuskegee Institute Council. The large number of students present demonstrated a significant interest in hearing from a figure who held views differently from those of the more mainstream civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King, and who had also been invited at various campuses. Students at various campuses, including Tuskegee, invited Malcolm X as part of an effort to expose the student body to a broader range of perspectives and ideologies regarding the Black freedom struggle. The students were interested in his emphasis on Black nationalism, self-reliance, and the connection between their struggle and a broader international human rights movement, which offer a different approach to achieving racial justice than the nonviolent integrationist approach. His wife, Betty Shabazz, had previously attended the university and experienced racism there, which she discussed with him, contributing to his connection to the institution. Malcolm's visit was a significant event that galvanized young activists and occurred during a period of ideological transition within SNCC, where the movement was becoming more radical and focused on Black power and community self-reliance. After the speech, Malcolm met with students in an intimate question and answer period, and he also signed autographs of many students that were impressed with his address to them. After hearing Malcolm speak, the Tuskegee students engaged in various forms of activism that culminated in a Tuskegee student uprising in the following years, fighting for institutional change on campus and adopting more radical approaches to the struggle for racial equality. In the Tuskegee student uprising, Malcolm X's ideals promoted black nationalism, self-reliance, and determination that resonated deeply with the students across the country and a new generation of African American leaders. The language and tactics of black power were adopted by Tuskegee students, as well as by groups like the Black Panther Party that formed later. In organized protests and confrontations, in a dramatic escalation in their activism, hundreds of black students took the Board of Trustees hostage in 1968, presenting demands to transform Tuskegee Institute into a black university. This explosive movement was eventually thwarted by the National Guard, but the students achieved many of their goals.